Diversey, we believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode in the 6th week of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM Show Series, Season 4. This is day 1 of the week, Thursday, and the first show amongst 2 that will be held back-to-back today. It's a great series to be in. I get to meet some of the finest general management talent, and they're going to be leaders of tomorrow. Actually, why leaders of tomorrow? They're already leaders, but they keep scaling. They're leading some of the finest brands and assets across the country. And Indian hoteliers and Indian hospitality industry is second to none. In fact, I think the service levels of our industry in India are far more ahead than anybody else. Now, this season comes at a defining moment for Indian hospitality as the industry continues to expand rapidly across markets, formats, and guest segments. And our session theme reflects this transformation. It is India at the hospitality inflection point, redefining excellence across every stage segment. Today's episode addresses a reality every hotel leader is living with. Lean teams, big expectations, doing more with less every day. Across business hotels, resorts, luxury properties, general managers today are expected to deliver consistent service excellence, strong financial performance, memorable guest experiences, all while operating with tighter teams and sharper cost structures. Today, to moderate this important conversation, I'm delighted to welcome Amaan Kidwai. Amaan needs no introduction. He's a great leader and a wonderful friend. Amaan has spent years, he'll tell you how many, not that I don't know, but let him talk about it himself. He is the area manager north for luxury hotels at ITC Hotels. And he's also the general manager for the acclaimed Maurya in Delhi. Welcome to the show, Amaan.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh. Thank you very much. I think this is a very relevant and real conversation for all of us. And across markets, we are seeing higher expectations from our guests and leaner operating structures, which makes leadership, team capability, and execution more critical than ever. So let's hear from our distinguished panel today.
Amaan, you've set a wonderful context to the show. And I think each of these topics that we discussed today is very, very important.
Absolutely.
It's such an important topic. And you see, not that it just addresses our costs, it also develops individuals. It develops fine 360-degree professionals who will lead fine hotels and our industry in times to come across brands. First off the block from amongst our speakers is the first of the 3 ladies on the show today, Mukta Khanna. Mukta is the general manager Mukta is the general manager for the holiday in Gurgaon. Welcome to the show, Mukta.
Thank you, Mr. Khanna. Thank you for having me here.
One moment. All right, there. Okay. Welcome, Mukta. Sorry for that. I think one of our speakers has got 2 connections on. I think we need to switch off. So, Sachin, you've got to get off one of your connections. Otherwise, the echo will be there. Next in is Vinod Kumar, who's the general manager of the Hyatt Regency in Thrissur. Welcome to the show, Vinod.
Hi, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna and Mr. Kidwai, for this wonderful topic to discuss.
Yeah, such a pleasure. This is your first show with us. So welcome to the special.
Thank you.
Next in is another first timer, Vasant Ravindran. He's the general manager of the one moment. All right. So Vasant Ravindran is the general manager of the Westin Sohna Resort and Spa. Welcome to the show, Vasant.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna. Thank you for having me on this show. I'm looking forward to having an exciting and insightful discussion with all the fellow panelists. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Ila Prabhu again is a first timer. She's the general manager of the Welcomhotel by ITC Hotels in Chennai. Welcome to the show, Ila.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Khanna. Really excited to be on this platform, and I look forward for insightful and engaging conversation. Thank you.
We're excited to have you on the show. Thank you for being there, Ila.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Anjana Manohar is again a first timer. Like I always call her Malayali in Chandigarh. So she's the general manager of the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson in Zirakpur. Welcome to the show, Anjana.
Good evening, all. Thank you so much, Mr. Khanna, for having me on the show. Looking forward for this discussion. Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thank you for being there, Anjana. Last but not the least, my second show with him, Sachin Malhotra. He's a Punjabi in Kerala. He's the general manager of the Kochi Marriott Hotel.
Pleasure to connect, Mr. Khanna, and looking forward.
Such a pleasure. Can you imagine? This is our industry, right? Languages don't matter.
Yes.
Our ethnicity does not matter. And we get to be in locations which we had never imagined. This is the magic of the industry. Get in here and have fun.
Absolutely.
So, all right, Amaan. So may I begin with you, Amaan, and set the show going?
Certainly.
All right, there you go. Amaan, I have nobody else that I could pick this question with. Across the industry today, doing more with less has almost become the operating norm. From your perspective, Amaan, what has fundamentally changed in our hotels' approach, staffing, productivity, and service delivery? And more so, given the largeness and spread of your portfolio, you are the best person to give us some gyan on this.
Absolutely. Very rightly said that doing more with less has indeed become our norm, and it is expected in today's day and age. I think, first of all, our staffing models have shifted, and leaner teams are now the reality, with flexible scheduling and contingent staff playing a bigger role in our day-to-day operations. Productivity expectations have also risen accordingly. And every role is measured not just by its efficiency, but by the impact on guest experience. Everybody today has come to be in a guest interaction role and add value to the guest cycle. I think the line between forth and both is becoming more and more blurred as time goes by. Secondly, it's about multi-skilling, which has become more of a norm than an exception today. Team members are expected to wear multiple hats, like front desk staff who handle concierge duties, and housekeeping associates who go and meet their guests and play the role of a guest relations while the guest is in the room. So this versatility ensures continuity of service even with fewer hands on deck. And to take it a step forward, we've also seen seasonal migration of staff between brands, between multi-properties, moving in the summers to the hills and in the winters to the beaches, etc. So this has become a common trend now amongst all brands, where they downsize temporarily during off-season. Thirdly, the balance between cost and service is becoming more and more sharp than what it was before. And hotels are investing in technology, including AI today, in some of our operations to streamline operations. And they are mindful that cost saving cannot come at the cost of personalized hospitality, because personalization and the human touch can never go away from our industry, especially in our subcontinent. And finally, guest expectations are always evolving, and today's traveler values speed, convenience, and authenticity. So, this means that the hotels need to deliver high touch service where it matters most, while using smart processes and digital tools to handle the routine tasks. So, I think in summation, the industry has moved from rigid staffing and siloed roles to agile, multi skilled teams focusing on maximizing both efficiency as well as guest satisfaction.
You know, Amaan, if I was to ask you, when you began in this industry, what role did you begin with?
I began as a restaurant manager, a management trainee, and then a restaurant manager. Yeah.
Right? So there you are. And how many departments have you circulated through?
Well, primarily the food and beverage, which includes restaurants, 24/7 specialty, banquets, bars, uh, food and beverage, and then hotel operations as resident manager, hotel manager, and now, of
And now,
course, multi-property.
and now heading this multi-property portfolio
Absolutely.
for a huge geography. So my message to all hoteliers who want to make a cut and grow big is circulate and gather experience across geographies and departments. All right. And don't think twice, forget shirk about long hours, right? Those are the building blocks of your career. Thank you so much, Amaan. You answered a bit. Now let me do the next best thing that anybody would want to do. Sit back and watch this wonderful show while I hand you the baton. This is your show, Amaan.
Thank you, Bhuvanesh, and look forward to hearing from this distinguished panel we have here today. So, first question is to, in no particular order, to Mukta. Mukta, Gurgaon is a high pressure and a high demand business market. How do you maintain service consistency with lean teams when occupancies are strong and guest expectations are unforgiving?
Right. Thank you, Aman. Thank you. It's first of all great to be part of this conversation here. And I think this topic is something all of us are living every day because it's really tough, as Mr. Khanna mentioned, to get people in today's time, especially after COVID. However, when we talk about Gurgaon as a market, the reality is very simple. Occupancies are high, but guest expectation are even higher. And today's traveler, they know what their rights are, they know what they can ask for, and they're completely unforgiving. So there used to be time that we used to talk about that the guest connect solves everything, but in today's time, with the guest connect, we need that consistency. And for us, consistency with lean team comes down to three things. One and first and foremost is discipline. Second is training, and third is the ownership that each and every team member for us in my hotel is trained to take that ownership and is empowered because your rights are there, but then your deliverables are also there. So one phrase that I tell my team member consistently is back to basics. Because in most of the cases, whenever there is a process failure, it's not because we don't know what to do. It's because somewhere the basic SOPs were not followed. And there comes a guest complaint. So I always focus with my team and tell my leadership team also to stick to basics so that we do not have process failures. Now, stick to basics, it's very clear that service basics are non-negotiable. We have to deliver what a guest expectation is, be it the cleanliness of the room readiness when somebody is checking in, be it the check-in process, be it food and beverage experience, be it the response time to a guest request, and these basics that we've been following for ages. So there is no negotiation there. And then how do we deliver it? That comes with your rigorous training consistency. And when I say training, we are not focusing on a classroom session. Classroom session is your basic learning, a basic SOP that one follows. But what we focus here in my hotel is on the job roles plays. Clarity as to picking up your daily touch points, your daily guest feedback, your shop floor training, giving them the role plays as to how one particular situation can be handled better, that makes them more experienced, keeps them engaged. They also know that how important each and every role in the hotel is, how important even an associate's role is for a guest satisfaction and for that consistency to drive business. Because if a guest returns, your business automatically flourish. And the third thing is collective ownership culture. So it's not that if I am a GM, it's only my ownership. Each and every team member in my hotel, even we talk about just now. You mentioned about multitasking and people shifting hats in various roles, and it's truly followed here. So at times when you have back-to-back setups, you will find my HR team, my IT team also helping the operations team, and people step beyond their roles, especially during peak hours. And I would say that in today's team members are very, very quick to learn. This generation, they are much more smarter than we think, and it's that they want result, they want appreciation, they want recognition of their work. So for us, about having more people is not about having team that is aligned. It's about discipline. It's about being focused, and this is what we focus upon.
Thank you, Mukta. I think discipline and focus are certainly areas which are inherent in our industry. We'll move on to Vinod. So, Vinod, Thrissur is a unique blend of business and cultural travel. How do you build versatile teams that can handle diverse guest expectations with limited resources?
Thank you so much, Mr. Kidwai, for this question. Yes, I mean, it's a very unique blend for sure, because Thrissur is a market which is more culturally attracts a lot of guests, come from different parts of the country over here. And also we are heavily dependent as a hotel. We are heavily dependent on the socials and the local weddings. Yeah. So understanding this business demand segments, right? It's extremely important for one who would be working in our hotel. So we have weddings, we have MICE, we have corporate travel and cultural tourism at different point of time. And sometime we have this one, everything together happening at the same time. So extremely essential for our team to get trained to understand different guest expectation and what would require. For example, a wedding guest would require that warmth, and speed of service is required by a corporate traveler. So, I mean, while this is happening, a cultural tourist who's a guest who's requiring a lot of help to understand where they could go and a guidance. So the team kind of shifts gears to understand this. So I think that kind of an understanding is what we train the team at, number one. And cross-trained team, extremely important for us, where the location where we are at. We encourage also our associates to cross-train within their department. So you have various wings, someone who wanted to learn, say, front office or a banqueting operation or food and beverage service in outlets. So they are encouraged, and there is a kind of rotation that happens within our system. So these things makes us strong. And Hyatt as a brand, being more emphasis we give on our food and beverage, and we are known for our food and beverage experiences. These things kind of help us training our team. And also, I should also mention about the operational flexibility, how we could do this one for our team members. Dynamic rostering based on the business patterns, right? Sometimes we have events happening more over on the weekends. How we could do that? Which season that we are busy? So team anticipates this and they make their own plan according. So we support that. And a balanced mix of, for a scale of our hotel, for example, last year we hosted an event for 9,000 people in our hotel. So we have that capability. So how would you pull this one off? You should have a full-time, casual, contracted, and that's how the staff should also scale up. And we were able to do that one efficiently. So we're very proud of how this has been executed. And most importantly, I feel personalization for each and every customer who are coming in, extremely important. When the team understands, say, you're a business traveler, you're a cultural travel that you're doing, and you have a wedding in the hotel. So how they could observe, I think personalization creates a disproportionate impact on anyone. So, and that's the reason that we keep getting people coming back to us again. Simple touches like addressing them by the names, like what we learn, and those basics become the pillar for our service. So I think leveraging our tools now, like you mentioned about AI, leveraging these tools more importantly, and build a culture of attentiveness. I think that's more important, and train the team for success. And like someone mentioned about how the team could learn this one very fast. I mean, they are extremely smart and they wanted to learn. That eagerness, I think, is extremely important, and we appreciate and encourage. And at last, I think empowerment. I think teams should know. I mean, they're empowered. I think that's extremely important, and that's how we drive it over here in Thrissur. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Vinod. I think Mukta and you both did highlight empowerment as key areas, and that's something which is very important to empower our frontline staff to deliver exceptional guest experiences. Thank you, Vinod. We'll come back for the next question to you a little later. Vasant, over to you. So, Vasant, resorts operate very differently from city hotels. So, in a destination like Sohna, how do you deliver high-touch luxury experiences with such lean teams?
Thank you so much, Mr. Kidwai, for the question. First of all, I would like to start by saying that Sohna is no longer a remote destination.
Yeah,
So
right.
thanks to the new
Thanks for correcting
Mumbai
us.
Expressway.
Yes.
It is just 40 minutes drive from Gurgaon, and it has definitely made our lives as hotelier, and running this property is much more easier than before. So I'm confident now that we can definitely deliver high touch luxury experiences with even leader team. Coming back to the question, I think in all my interactions with the team members, I always emphasize on the fact that whenever a guest checks into a resort, be it our resort or any other resort for that matter, I think the expectation that they have from the unit, from the hotel or the resort is very high and very different than what they would expect when they check in into a business hotel. I personally feel that approximately 70 or if not 80% of the guests who stay at the resort pay their bills out of their pocket, unlike any business hotel wherein the bills get reimbursed. So the expectation of value for money quotient is actually very high, and that is where we have to deliver. I think if we get that sense that every guest who is paying the penny out of their pocket, it is very relevant for them, it is very important for them. We just have to touch that pulse and deliver what is expected out of us. Obviously, when we talk about high-touch luxury experiences, this comes with a lot of experience-led hospitality. When I say that it is an experience-led hospitality, it means that every touch point that the team member has, and by the way, I don't call my team members at the resort a team member. I call them magic weavers, because that is what they do for our guest. So every magic weaver who comes into touch, who gets an opportunity to interact with the guest, they ensure that they leave a lasting impression by doing something unique. And I'm truly blessed to have a team member, to have a team of highly motivated individuals who are customer focused and cross-function experts. So I'm just touching on the point of lean teams, that this is where the crux is. Everyone is a cross-function expert, and all of them, be it, I think Mukta just mentioned that HR or be it any other department, they focus and they ensure that they also deliver and they also contribute in whatever way they can to ensure that the guest has a great experience. So case in example is that my HR executive stands as a hostess in the morning breakfast, and the younger generation, I must say that they're very confident, they're very high on confidence. So all that you have to do is you just have to give them a platform and let them do the magic. So again, to summarize how we do it, it is just by ensuring that every guest has an experiential stay, and and the itinerary is very well personalized. And the personalization starts at the pre-arrival stage itself. It's not that we wait for the guest to come in to the resort and then we start doing the magic. It is just that it begins before they arrive. One day prior, someone gets into touch with them. We have an Own My Guest program wherein team members own the guest, interact with them, and they are the personal brand ambassador for the guest. So that is how we do it. And detailing and planning is something which helps us ensure that we even if it is a lean team, then also we are able to do high touch luxury experiences.
Excellent.
Thank you, Vasant.
Thank you, Mr. Kidwai.
Thank you. I think, yeah, your magic weavers are doing a fabulous job, I must say.
True.
I've heard great reviews. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ela, over to you. Chennai is a mature hospitality market with discerning guests. And how do you ensure service excellence does not dip even when the teams are lean?
Interesting, Mr. Kidwai. Thank you so much for such a thoughtful question. First of all, I feel truly privileged to answer this as I'm heading an iconic hotel that has completed 50 remarkable years of our legacy.
Yes, congratulations on that. Yes.
Thank you, sir. And today, in fact, we are proudly serving the third or fourth generation of our valued guests. Leading such an iconic property is not just a responsibility. It's about leading a legacy built on trust, relationship, and decades of consistent service excellence. What many may call a discerning guest, I consider them our most valuable asset. Why? Because their constructive feedback continuously help us refine our product, elevate our service standards, and remain relevant in a mature and competitive market like Chennai. Now, coming back to your question, lean staffing and service excellence, definitely critical for operational efficiency. However, I believe that service excellence is never driven by numbers. It is actually driven by culture, capability, training, multi-skilling, empowerment, and of course, most importantly, the able leadership. Service excellence has to be a mindset. Every team member must believe that their primary responsibility is guest experience. Irrespective of their role, whatever our operational constraint may be, service at every touch point is non-negotiable. And as we optimize our team, our focus should shift from a task-driven approach to an impact-driven one by focusing on what truly matters to the guest. This means building multi-scale teams, which my other colleagues also mentioned, like multi-scaling a team person who can seamlessly step into different roles, prioritizing guest impact tasks over their routine work, and deploying manpower dynamically based on your requirement. And then equally important is empowering your frontline team to take quick decisions in that moment, resolve issues, and create meaningful guest experiences without any delay or escalations. Another important tool which you mentioned in the beginning is technology. We should use technology as a force multiplier, reducing manual effort, improving response time, and enabling better personalization. Now, today's guests are very, very demanding, or I would say they value recognition more than anything else. Here comes the guest feedback, which is very, very important. Like with technology, you can have guest data bank, you can capture guest feedback, which is very important for consistency in your service and creating wonderful experience for your guests on their every visit. Well, in a nutshell, I would say lean team actually do not dilute your service standard. Rather, they sharpen your focus, build agility, and drive a strong culture of ownership and excellence. Not by doing more, but by doing what truly matters to the guest and experience.
Great. Thanks, Ela. Very rightly put and very rightly said that it's the team when it is empowered and the culture driven by great leadership is what drives service excellence. So thank you for that.
And
Anjana,
I
coming
didn't
to
know,
you.
and I didn't know her hotels completed the big 50.
Yeah, it was the first hotel
Yes,
of
sir.
ITC Hotels portfolio. Yes.
Last year, October, we completed 50 years of our hotel.
Lovely.
Yes. So, Anjana, coming to you, Zirakpur is a fast-growing hospitality hub. So, how do emerging markets manage operational efficiency while scaling up quickly?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Kidwai. So, in a market like Zirakpur, growth is very real, but so are the gaps in trained talent and systems. So, for me, it starts with getting the basics absolutely right. I'd agree with what Mukta had mentioned in the beginning, getting the basics right. I'm a big believer in process discipline early on because once the business picks up, you don't get the luxury to fix things. Otherwise, you just end up firefighting. Second is building your own team. In our kind of market, you won't always find ready talent. So we hire for attitude and spend time training and shaping them. That investment really pays back during high pressure periods. We also consciously run lean multi skill teams, not because we have to, but because it gives us flexibility. My team, I think I'm blessed with the best team, understands more than just their own role. And that makes a big difference in a day to day operations. And lastly, I stay very close to costs without losing sight of the guest. Every decision we take, whether it's manpower, menu, or service, has to make sense commercially and from a guest experience point of view. For me, efficiency in a growing market is really about being structured, practical, and consistent, especially when things are moving fast.
Great.
That
Thank you for that. Thank you, Anjana. That was very
very
crisp and
crisp.
very clear.
Very crisp.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Sachin, coming to you, so Kochi is a very strong MICE and leisure destination, both. So, how do you manage large volumes and events with lean operational teams?
Aman, high volume events guarantee you one thing. There will be peaks and valleys. Now, quality is often not defined by how you handle the peaks, but what you do, and more importantly, what you don't do in those valleys. So we follow a simple philosophy, in fact, taking the lead from the local Valamkali, which is the Kerala boat, snake boat ride. Event happens once in a year, but it goes to a level that it's impossible to identify who is rowing for the first time, who is a constant regular. It's basically training your subconscious to do what is right every time. So I basically, when we look at large volume events, we usually look at the simple PAT, plan, anticipate, and train. And then once you do the PAT properly in those valleys, the peak quality automatically comes through. In fact, we are blessed in Kerala. Marriott has 7 properties. So we have a bench strength of 1,200 employees resting at various dens, just a call away. So cross trainings, task force, assignment based. So whether the Cochin shipyard is delivering a new ship, or probably there is an important delegation arriving, or a SECon, Pedicon, whatever happening in the city, there is a task force of more than 1,000 people available at your stream. What is important is how you engage them and how you train them. It works both ways. First, and our hotels are very vivid. Some hotels like Artist are purely F&B driven with 35 rooms. Le Meridian is a convention property. We have 2 airport properties, and our is more or less a business hotel with some 300 keys, 273 keys. So it also gives a cross-functional exposure to our team, and they acquire new skills, they acquire new confidence, and they get exposed to all the varieties of jobs and tasks which are not being limited to their own space. So that helps maintain the culture, that helps maintain the enthusiasm, and then it also gives that a recall value to the memory. You always remember when you probably served the head of the state. You always remember when the prime minister, you were in the core team of serving the prime minister, the protocols and the food handling processes and all. So a lot of learning goes in. That brings in the enthusiasm, and then the synergy also brings in together. In fact, Marriott, if I can take a minute, identified this leaner manning structures a lot in advance, and hence We were the first one probably to implement the 9-hour working culture, and then compensation in terms of time off or even payouts to our employees. That was the first step. The second step went towards the iJob, which we call integrated job. So as a task to the leadership team, we train almost 90% of our all associates into multitasking. And then this also gives an opportunity. You can log off your shift of 9 hours and then come back for a gig in the hotel and then get paid for it. So it's a good opportunity for a person who's trying to make a little more extra money. It's also value for your efforts. Hotel industry was probably used and abused, saying that long working hours, there is only a time to come, no time for departure. But I think Marriott has taken a beautiful step in ensuring that if we utilize your time beyond your duty hours, you get compensated properly. So iJob has been a true game changer for us because it brings the integration between heart of the house and front of the house, wherein a person is happily and willingly making his ends meet, as well as learning something new and contributing towards the success. And then it also gives them a platform to clear more better interviews for internal growth as well. So yes, it's a win-win for all of us. And so far, God has been kind in God's own country that the model seems to be working for us.
Excellent.
Lovely.
That's so
Excellent.
nice to hear, Sachin, about the synergy amongst all the 7 hotels in
Yeah.
Kochi. So great.
Aman, we've hit the halfway point. Can I take a 20-second break and
Certainly,
then circle?
certainly.
All right, there you go.
Right.
At Diversey, we believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
So we've hit the halfway point. Now some housekeeping pointers. We'll take 2.5 minutes per response going ahead. We're 7 minutes over time. I can't but keep thanking Diversey for all their support. They've season 4 and they for 4 years, they backed up this platform to carry the message to a larger audience. Thank you so much, Diversey. Amaan, if I can roll the first one to you.
Sure,
Amaan,
sure.
stranger to talent, this industry has a lot of challenges. One, we need fresh blood and great ambitious people who are going to carry this industry to its next leg. And talent continues to be one of the biggest challenges for the industry. Tell me, how do hotels build strong, motivated teams despite lean staffing structures? Lean is good, but we don't want to be in a situation where any attrition and we are left in a situation of void.
I think I would like to base this on 5 pillars and to build a strong and motivated team, which I would love to lead, and I do make that effort day in and day out. First is, of course, retention, which is to be supported by a clear career pathways and a recognition program, because that's what motivates the people. And across our hotels and our company emphasizes sustainability and purpose, which resonates with all our employees and strengthens loyalty. We run recognition programs like the Welcome Achievers program, where colleagues can recognize each other, senior leadership can recognize the associates, and they all get recognized real time, see their names featuring on an app which is available for their access. So that's a great motivation for them on recognition front. Second is, of course, training and development of resources, which is a continuous activity. And we do invest a lot in cross-functional training, which is both on the job, off the job, with external faculty and internal faculty, as well as tech-driven, which is available to do on your personal devices at your convenience when you're traveling to work or just chilling. Third is, of course, employee engagement. And this is through other initiatives like celebratory events, town halls, Friday bashes, etc., which happen all the time for their welfare and well-being and making the workplace a fun place. The leadership, of course, plays a very defining role in setting the ground rules and the culture within the hotel and within the company. And we do lay emphasis on ethics and transparency along with empathy to ensure that staff welfare is always kept in focus and top of the mind. And lastly, but not the least, is the culture. The culture code of ITC hotels ties us all together. Us deliver world-class hospitality uh, through our multiple initiatives, including responsible luxury, which we are pioneers in. So I think even with lean structures, strong teams can be built by combining retention strategies, development opportunities, engagement, and of course, leadership for a purpose-driven culture within the organization.
Excellent. Yeah, this is extremely important, and ITC has its own feeding pipeline of talent from your institute.
Absolutely.
But given your growth plans, your pipelines, this may not be enough, right? So we have to take in freshers from outside the industry and develop all from within. It has to be train the trainer.
Absolutely. Employers of choice is a program, I think, and tagline.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
back to you. The baton is yours to carry to the end of the show.
Thank you.
Just
Thank you, Bhuvanesh.
2.5 minutes per response.
Done. So we'll start with you, Mukta, again. So, Mukta, what leadership practices help teams stay motivated and productive even when stretched? What do you think?
All right. So thank you once again. And I think I completely resonate to what all you said, all those 5 points. And I think I'll stretch a little more upon these points itself, because this is what honestly very real conversation for all of us as operators with today's generation, that how do we keep them engaged during these stretch situations, long working hours, and being available, consistency. And I strongly believe that lean teams motivation doesn't come from numbers. It comes from how we as leaders are leading every single day. And in lean teams, leadership visibility. And when I say leadership visibility, is not only that they see their HODs, of course, senior leadership at the hotel has to be there, visible with them. It's not optional. The GMs have to be around because it is what keeps the engine running. And firstly, here, when I say leadership, visible leadership, it not only helps us during peak hours to understand, what the guest sentiments are. It is the right time to capture if you have any team fatigue too, before they become bigger issues. So the shop floor presence of senior leadership in the hotel has to be there. That's how we lead by example. And at the same time, when team sees you stepping in alongside them, it naturally drives ownership and that energy of working as a team together and focusing on same goal. Everyone knows, okay, fine, if my check-in is busy, if I have to go and help my concierge team, if I have to go and support them with the luggage, if I have to go and support my breakfast team. So everybody is available, everybody is around, everybody is seen as a leader and leading the team. And second thing that we really do well is, of course, in IG, we have something called Winning Ways Wednesday, which is a thank you and a recognition platform wherein on a weekly basis, each and every colleague can thank each other for doing something for them or stepping up for them. We also in our hotel have a daily recognition program. So for previous day, anybody can recognize anyone, and that is then compiled by the HR team and the learning team, and then they put it together on the hotel group, and people feel recognized and motivated and appreciated on a day-to-day basis for doing something right. And that's the kind of culture building that we have here. So it is a real-time recognition instead of just waiting for the town hall. Of course, town hall recognitions, winning-based recognitions are there. They also help. But real-time recognition on a day-to-day basis is something that keeps the culture alive, that tells them, okay, fine, what is the right direction, where we are going right, and what really makes the difference in someone's life on a day-to-day basis. Then third is for me consistent communication and development. So most of the hotels, what we see is that the platform is there for people who are executive and above. But in our hotel, we have development programs even for associates. So that guides them, what is their way forward? Where are they going to lead? What is their next, that they can do? What is the right path for them? And then they have somebody as a mentor to look up to. So we have these individual development plans for each and every individual in the hotel that motivates them as well to become a future leader, and that aspires them. And because this is something that is, I feel, is required, especially with today's generation. When they come fresh from colleges, they're hesitant even of joining the hotel industry. But how we keep them motivated, because this industry has so much to offer to them. And if they have the right guidance and the right path and the right development plan for themselves, they see them growing with the organization. And that's what I think helps attrition also, because if we don't engage well with them on the right time, we see higher attrition, because they feel that, okay, fine, I'm only working for the hotel, what is the hotel doing in return for me? So I think development of each individual is a key for us for ensuring we retain them. So, and giving them a purpose, which is and then a quick feedback and growth visibility. I think these are the key factors for us, how we drive our leadership, and we ensure that even with people, when they're stretched, they feel valued, they feel supported, and they feel connected.
Yeah, great thoughts, Mukta, and actions too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Vinod, coming to you, how important is multi-skilling in today's operating environment?
Extremely critical, extremely critical, Mr. Kidwai. Sorry, my mic was on mute. So I don't think so. It's no longer a value add, right? But it becomes a core business necessity, is what I believe. And especially in a dynamic market like ours, like I mentioned earlier, we need to shift gears constantly for all the personalization, right? I mean, that's important. And also, I feel efficiency gains can happen only, or it can happen naturally when the teams are multi-skilled. So we are able to optimize manpower, reduce dependency on some rigid structures, and maintain service standards even during the high demand periods. Or if you wanted to say yes to a 5,000 pax dinner event, so we could do this one, because with this, what happens, I felt, I mean, in my experience, or what I could see, for an employee, it broadens their exposure and it creates more engaged workforce, like a clear development pathway that you're not hesitant to take any risk later, or you have been through something and you've gotten that experience. I think apart from this, I think the operational flexibility, right, is the biggest advantage. It enabled us for our employees to respond quickly to any fluctuations in the demand in corporate, social, or any cultural gatherings without compromising any guest experience. I believe also now, in essence, multi-skilling allows us to do more with the same resources while still delivering high level of personalization. Yeah, that's our brand definition as well. So we were able to pull that one. So to your question, I think it's extremely critical. That's what I believe.
Thanks, Vinod. Thank you. Vasant, coming to you, how do you maintain luxury service standards with a limited team bandwidth?
Thank you, Mr. Kidwai. I would just like to start by saying that in my internal meetings, I have removed the word limited bandwidth and I've replaced it with efficient bandwidth. So I just want to emphasize on the fact that no matter how many people are there in a resort like ours, it's an expansive resort, you will always feel that more people would do better justice to this kind of resort. But I personally feel that to deliver luxury service standards, it is consistent operations what will get us there. So and consistency as such does not come overnight. So it has to come from it comes from rigorous training, which goes in the backdrop. So as a practice, once in a month, every month, I get all my HODs in a strategy room. I have a room called strategy room, wherein we discuss all the guest feedback that we have received in the recent past, the voice of customer through various sources that we have, and then we identify the training needs. Once the training needs are identified, we then go to the back to basics model. And I think this model, back to basics, every brand, every hotel, every industry, I think has this model, and it'll never go out of fashion. And this is something that is the most basic thing as a training program everyone should have. I personally believe that if the foundation is strong, if the basics are super strong, then you need not to worry how the things are going to turn up. The other thing is that I personally believe that the more time you spend, every minute that you spend in a planning stage saves 10 minutes at the time of execution. So overall, planning well in advance, keeping in mind the kind of operations that you are in, and then keeping in mind the guest clientele, the kind of clientele that you're catering to, you can definitely deliver better services and luxury service standards with efficient bandwidth.
Absolutely. So
Thank you.
as they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Rightly
So
said.
Yeah.
right. So Ila, coming to you, what role does leadership visibility play in ensuring service consistency?
Beautiful question. Leadership visibility definitely plays a critical role in service industry, service consistency, especially in service industry, because most of the action and execution happens on the shop floor, not in your office or a meeting room. So I feel leadership visibility is must for service consistency because it sets the tone on the shop floor. It indirectly reinforces service standard, enable real-time course correction, and build accountability within the team. It also boosts team confidence as staff feel supported and empowered to handle guest situation instantly. Most importantly, it works like a bridge. It bridges the gap between training and execution, uh, ensuring that service excellence is delivered consistently, even with the lean teams. I strongly believe that visible leadership derives invisible consistency. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that you need to do micromanagement or you need to be loud. Like for my hotel, it's a 50 years hotel, like where I have a old timers and increasingly the Gen Z talent who are highly tech savvy and brings very different way of talent. Now, leadership presence becomes even more critical in this situation. For them, it's not just about instruction. For them, leadership is seeing leader in action. And I feel when I lead from the front, I stay visible to my team. And it naturally builds alignment, discipline, and consistency across the team. And the results have definitely been remarkable. So I feel it is important, but not a micromanagement. Your presence itself is enough to make sure service standards are in place. And that's how it works. That's what I feel that it'll give a remarkable result. It's working for me at least.
No, I agree with you because I also have always believed in leading from the front. So I concur with what you say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anjana, coming to you. So, Anjana, what operational innovations help teams to do more with less?
Okay. Well, I think in today's environment, innovation is honestly about simplifying operations and not complicating them. A lot of what we do is just stepping back and asking, do we really need this step? And you'll be surprised on how many things can be streamlined. We worked quite a bit on cleaning up the processes, whether it's reporting, daily checklists, or even communication between departments. When things are simpler, teams automatically become faster and more efficient and more confident. We are also using technology in a very practical way, nothing fancy, just tools that actually save time. Things like quicker check-ins, better inventory management, or reducing manual work. One big area for us has been F&B rationalization, keeping menus sharper, more focused, and aligned to the demand. That reduces the pressure on kitchen and improves consistency as well. But honestly, I think the biggest shift is in mindset. I keep telling my team, don't just follow processes, you have to own them. When people take ownership, previous panelists also mentioned about this, they naturally find better and faster ways to get things done. So for me, doing more with less is really about clarity, simplicity, and ownership.
Yeah, you rightly said our business is actually very simple and we've only complicated it over the years. It started as being simple innkeepers.
Yeah.
Today we have
Yeah,
a whole lot of
yeah.
processes which have come in.
Crisp again, Aman.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, actually, the jadoo, the magic lies in simplifying rather than complicating.
Absolutely.
And like she said, shave off the extra leanings and layers.
Yes, true, true. So, Sachin, it's the last question of the afternoon, evening rather. Looking ahead, how do you think that the hotel operations evolve in a leaner, more demanding environment?
Looking ahead, everyone talks about AI and automation. So, but then as I picked up something different, because I personally feel looking ahead, less is more is the concept. And especially when you realize with the balcony approach, you go a little step back and see our business is actually extremely simple, but we have complicated it. We have put in layers, we have put in makers and checkers. I think moving forward, the world of hospitality at least is moving towards clustering. When I say clustering, I'm talking about independent operations. Now, central reservation system was the first clustering that we saw, and it worked. Thereafter, central procurement came in. Thereafter, probably we're talking about central revenue system coming up. And that actually gave you a point to the industry saying that clustering is the way forward because it respects specialization. It allows you to hire and pay respectful, as well as it allows you to do more with less. So I think now we are moving towards the clustering of finance department because AR, account receivable, account payable are all very similar jobs. And every hotel has a maker, checker, supervisor, manager levels. But for example, in Kochi, you have 7 hotels. You don't need 7 AR managers, 7 AR executive, and 7 AR associates to manage hotels. So we are moving towards clustering those into independent operations, probably shifting the office away from all the 7 hotels, where they do independent job and they provide services to each hotel, and based on the business volume you can find a way to charge them and maintain sustainability. So at present we are working at looking at an opportunity in terms of procurement and finance. Now in fact I am leading a project in my hotel with the 3 hotels that are in the same ownership about how we can actually cluster culinary and bakery confectionery as well, because a good croissant which is served to a guest at a Marriott doesn't define the brand that it needs to be eaten at. So you would never say that it's a select services, the croissant is supposed to be okay. And only in an upscale hotel, the croissant needs to be crisp and buttery. So when the quality of product is defined, the specialty chef who is supposed to do it defined, why do you need to independently cook it? Why can't you integrate resources? Why can't you integrate specialization and then deliver a better quality product at a much sustainable costing? And what's the today's number one problem for all of us? Attrition. Now, if you have a clustering process available, the show always goes on. It's never that your bakery chef left, your baker left, and you don't have a bread in the hotel, you're outsourcing it. Because in a clustering process, you can respectfully pay more, you can respectfully deliver more, and you can have a better quality and consistency. I think the closest that we can look ahead is clustering of more than back office, but heart of the house, but also front of the house operations as well. So that's one strong future that I see, where less is more.
Yes, great. Absolutely.
Thank you, Sachin.
So, Mr. Khanna, do we have time for a
Go
quick
ahead.
rapid fire? Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Pull it through.
So I will reach out to each one of you for a quick 1 to 3 word answer only. Don't make it long. So let's start with Mukta, and the question remains same for all of you. Doing more with less works best when?
Teams aligned.
Great. Vinod?
Yes, Mr. Kidwai.
So doing more with less works best when? What do you think?
I think when the team feels part of the hotel or part of the process, I think it works well during this time.
Great. Vasant?
Experiences matter.
Okay. Ela?
Way of life.
Okay. Great. Anjana?
Processes simplify.
Okay. And Sachin, what do you think?
When you focus on quality and consistency.
Great. Thank you. On my end, I think doing more with less works best when there is positivity. That's my thought. So thank you for sharing this. So allow me to sum up our show today. So Mukta highlighted the importance of discipline and in high demand business markets. And of course, her mention of back to basics and ownership and empowerment was echoed across speakers today. Vinod spoke about the building versatile, multi-skilled teams, while Vasant emphasized delivering experiences, even with lean structures. Ela, of course, reinforced the role of strong service culture and leadership and leading from the front, while Anjana focused on efficiency and process-driven operations with a very crisp answers. Last but not the least, Sachin brought out the importance of execution, excellence in high volume environments, and what is in store for us in the future. So thank you all for being a part of this. Bhuvanesh, over to you.
Thank you so much, Amaan. The fun of sitting back and watching you all talk and put across your views is far more than when you're actually moderating, because this gives you a keen ringside view of what the leaders have to say. Having said that, I must thank you, Amaan, and to all our distinguished general managers for a truly insightful discussion. I have been watching Amaan very closely over the last few years. He's a very calm, silent, and focused person. He's a man of very few words. And I think therein lies the mantra of doing a damn good job, which he is doing. So thank you, Amaan. You've been a great moderator. I'd also like to thank our valued partner, Diversey, along with the teams at BW Businessworld and BW Hotelier. It's not easy to pull out two shows a day, 4 shows a week, and 32 shows for the entire season. It calls for a lot of midnight oil to be burned. They toil hard, because getting general managers to space 60 minutes from the busy schedule is not easy. So scheduling and content creation, and then managing the social media and carrying the show live is not easy. Thank you, teams. I am delighted to share that the season 4 of the Diversey BW Hotelier GM show has opened with some of the strongest viewership numbers we've seen thus far. And I'd encourage all our speakers and viewers to share the episode links widely so that important conversations reach the larger hospitality community. And the ones who couldn't catch it live, please watch the recordings. They're all there. And thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you at the next episode in about 25 minutes. But before I close, thank you again, Diversey. Let's play the video.
At Diversey, we believe it is our mission to protect and care for people and their environment every day. Pioneering future-focused cleaning and hygiene solutions. Trust the experts to select the best hygiene technology matching your site's challenges and your sustainability vision. Diversey, your global partner for responsible hygiene solutions.
Thank you, Amaan. And let me now begin by thanking the ladies on the show. Let me begin with Mukta. Mukta, thank you so much. Ela, thank you so much. Anjana, thank you so much. And the gentleman there, Ravindran, Vasant, like I would always call him, Vinod, and Sachin, you make the show look good, right? We are there because you guys speak so well and you're great brand ambassadors for the industry and your brand. Do well, keep coming back and keep smiling. May God bless you all. Thank you all for being there. Amaan, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bhuvanesh, on behalf of all of us, to you and to your team for a wonderful season, and look forward to the next two.
Look forward to having you back next year. God
Thank
willing.
you.
God
Thank
bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr.